Hey friends, my name is Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show, and today it is all about the Triangle Genese Trio stand mount speaker. I really like Triangle stand mounts, and this is, I think, the most expensive one I've ever reviewed from them. Right now it's $1,400 a pair with free shipping in the US. It's actually part of Triangle's legacy range, but it is, strangely, just now coming to the US. I heard about it from Sean over at Zero Fidelity. He reviewed it a little while ago, and it was offered to me, and I said, yeah, I want to do it. I want a piece of that. And here they are, and I think they're really cool speakers. First of all, it's a lot of speaker for the money. The price is most definitely right. It's about 18.3 inches high, has a 1-inch titanium horn-loaded tweeter with a phase plug. There's a 6.5-inch paper polymer mid woofer. There's a big port right there underneath the woofer. And I got to tell you, even when I played music with lots of bass, there wasn't a lot of air moving through that port. There was certainly no port noise. No port noise complaints from me. What else? It's got some nice sturdy bi-wire connectors on the rear panel, but that curvy cabinet and that matte top, I think it's a really stunning, very distinctive looking design. So there's two specs that jumped out at me. First is the impedance. It's 8 ohms, but it reaches down to about 4.4 ohms, meaning you should pair the Trios with an amplifier that's happy driving low impedances. And the sensitivity is 90 dB, which is, fairly high, meaning you can use it with low-powered amplifiers. I used the Trio with more amplifiers that I had on hand than just about any other speaker I can remember over the course of a review. I started actually with the Shit Agir, which actually wasn't happening. It was a little too lean, too cool, too uptight sounding. That went out. Then I replaced that with this 300B amplifier. Just got a tube amp from Boyu range. It's Chinese. And that sounded just the opposite of the Agir. It sounded rich and juicy and fat in a good way. Just really, really substantial. So I like that. I also use a Mytek Brooklyn amp, which is a 250 watt per channel amp, and so I went to something really powerful in there. Oh, but I also used the 2.3 watt Zen Triode. Wow, I love that amplifier, and that amplifier loves these speakers. 2.3 watts. Now that's way below what would be considered a reasonable power match with this speaker. The 2 watts, 2.3 watts were doing an amazing job in terms of bringing life to the sound of this speaker. My favorite amp on this speaker, in case you were wondering, is the 1st watt SIT3, which is about 20 watts a channel. And that was the most alive, visceral, best tonal balance. It just really clicked. But the point is, all of them really worked. All of the amps worked well. Well, let me put it this way. All of the amps worked well, except, surprisingly, the Shit Agir. This speaker is a very easygoing speaker. The tonal balance is on the rich side of neutral. It's full, it's sweet. The top end is very relaxed. It doesn't shout detail and clarity. It's not that kind of speaker. It just goes about its job sounding right. Center focus, imaging by the way, imaging, the center focus is unusually precise. It's right on the money, right there. Soundstage is big, not overly huge, not a massive amount of depth, but satisfying. Again, that is the key word here. Is the Trio it disarms you. You just listen and enjoy music. It kind of turns off my audiophile analytical side, and I just luxuriated in the music that I was playing at any given moment. So I brought out the James Horner score for Sneakers. It's a movie soundtrack with lots of dynamics and big drums and big orchestral surges. And this speaker did a good job. I wouldn't say great. It wasn't like a Klipsch kind of levels of dynamic agility, but it was no slouch. It did well. It played loud up to a point really well, but beyond that point, I just felt like, no, it doesn't want to get that loud. So, pretty loud. Keith Richards, this is his first album. It's his best solo work by far. And it kicks butt. Steve Jordan on drums, Charlie Drayton on bass. What an amazingly strong rhythm section. Really, really good. So they were exercising. They were exercising the trio's dynamics with ease, and it was so much fun. But this record, man, if you somehow overlooked Keith's first solo record, this is it, man. You gotta check out this record. So at this point, I want to make some at least mental comparisons to some other stand mount speakers I've reviewed lately. Starting with the Golden Ear Technology BRX stand mount speaker. That one has a folded ribbon tweeter, and that tweeter is phenomenal in its detail and clarity and ease, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous top end. It's a great speaker, but the tweeter is the star. And the tweeter on the Trio is much more restrained, much more laid back than what you get from the BRX. If you're the kind of audiophile that's searching for detail and clarity and transparency, no, the Trio is not going to take you there. Then again, the PMC 2521i stand mount I reviewed recently, which is much more expensive. I think it's $3,400. Yeah, that one is all about precision, clarity, tone, bass definition, just totally nails it and leaves the Trio far behind. But it is a much more expensive speaker. But the thing is, high-resolution speakers like the PMC, when you play recordings that have compression or grain or they're just ruthless in revealing those things. And the Trio can just kind of glide by. It's like everything, we're just on cruise control here, man. It's just make everything sound sweet. Speaking of sweet, yeah, I got to make one more mention because I got a review coming up of this Boyu Range A50 300B tube amplifier. And I played it a lot with the Trios. And in terms of largesse, of really filling a room and just having this meaty physical sound, a sound, as one of my friends used to say, a lit from within sound, this tubey holographic 3D thing going on, that was a really killer combination. And that you could get that whole thing, you could get the Trios and the amp together for a little over $2,000. I think my work here is at last complete. The Triangle Genese Trio, at this reduced price of $1,400 a pair, shipped in the United States, that deserves your attention. If you're looking for a fairly large stand mount speaker right now and you don't want hyper detail, you want to just cruise and enjoy the music, this speaker deserves your attention. Deserves a spot on your can-do list. So now I can say, if you like what I do, yeah, we'll do the wrap-up now. If you like what I do, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you already have, thank you so much for doing that. Please check out the Patreon at patreon.com/audiophiliac, and there is a link to the Patreon in the description below. But while you're here, check out the playlist. There's playlists for many, many, many more speaker reviews and amplifier reviews and headphone reviews and, of course, music reviews, interviews with the great and everyday folk in the audiophile universe. And I think my work here now really, really is at last complete. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.